Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we have some Call of Duty 4 using the golden mini-Uzi submachine gun. Unlike Modern Warfare Remastered where every weapon can have gold obtained for it, back in COD 4 you could only get gold for certain weapons, and one of those weapons was the mini-Uzi. It looks really nice, it's just really unfortunate that the mini-Uzi wasn't very good back in COD 4, but regardless, I hope you guys will all sit back, relax, and enjoy the video because I have some great news. If you guys have not heard, Raven Software has confirmed that all Creator Class items will be unlocked in private match. This is fantastic news. We were just discussing this the other day in the video, and if you guys want to go ahead and check out that video, feel free to click the annotation on your screen or click the link to it down there in the video description. But in there, I was talking about some of the changes that Raven Software has already made to the COD 4 formula in Modern Warfare Remastered. I also gave you guys some suggestions that I have for the game, things I would like to see changed. I asked you guys, what other changes would you guys like to see? Because Call of Duty 4, while it was revolutionary for the time, it was the first Call of Duty game to implement perks and a creative class system and a prestige system. It's very bare bones as compared to more current Call of Duty games, so I was wondering what current Call of Duty quality of life improvements would you like to see in Modern Warfare Remastered that weren't necessarily there in Call of Duty 4, and you guys gave a number of great responses, and we're going to cover those here in this video. Now, I will say I'm not going to be talking about my ideas I discussed in my last video. To run over them really quickly, it was lower the numbers back to what they were originally, remove halftime and domination, and give us an option to toggle medal notifications. Now, the rest of these suggestions are partly mine and partly yours, like some of these ones that I've came up with and other ones that you guys discussed, and we're going to be covering those here in this video. So the first one that I would like to have added to Modern Warfare Remastered, this is something that I feel as though is a great thing in current Call of Duty games. It's something that needs to be in every Call of Duty game going forward. No more losses for joining a game late. I hate that so much. Like, you join a game late, you get a loss. It's like, that's no fun for anybody. That's just a great quality of life improvement that I would really hope to see in Modern Warfare Remastered. The second one is also going to have to do with wins and losses. You see, back in Call of Duty 4, when you would play Search and Destroy, and the same is true for World at War, and it's not true of any Call of Duty game after that, you would get a loss or a win for every round of Search and Destroy. So let's say, for example, you won a game 4-3, you would get 4 wins thrown on your combat record and 3 losses thrown on your combat record. Every single round counted as like its own mini game. And I really wasn't a giant fan of that because as a result, if you played Search and Destroy, your win-loss ratio was just always awful unless like you're running a 6-stack, and it wasn't very good. So I'm hoping that they actually improve that in Modern Warfare Remastered to make it so just one game of Search and Destroy counts as either 1 win or 1 loss, depending on how you performed. The third suggestion would be lobby leaderboards. I saw a lot of people asking for lobby leaderboards. I think that would be a great improvement. It's so weird talking about something as small and as forgettable as a lobby leaderboard, right? But we didn't have these back in Call of Duty 4. Keep in mind, it's a very bare bones game, so I think that would be a big improvement. The fourth suggestion, and this is something that I can't believe I didn't even think of, but as soon as I saw the suggestion in the comments, I was like, wow, yeah, we need to have that. Why didn't I think of that myself? But combat records. Why don't we have combat records in Modern Warfare Remastered? That would be freaking amazing. Now, I know some people don't like combat records, and that's fine. If you don't like people seeing your stats, whatever, make it so they're not public, make it so they are public. I don't care. Just have a combat record of some kind in Modern Warfare Remastered, because I've always wondered, as somebody who's played COD 4 for ages, right? I have like 120,000 kills just on one of my accounts in Call of Duty 4, and that's pretty significant considering the majority of my time I played Search and Destroy back in the day. And so I always wondered, like, how many kills do I have with the M16? How many kills do I have with the M4A3? What about the R700? What about like some of the lesser used weapons like the G3 or the G36C? Like, how many kills do I actually have with these as compared to some of these other ones? Like, I would love to know that. How many frags have I thrown in Call of Duty 4? I would love to know that. That'd be so great, right? So I think combat records would be fantastic. Suggestion number 5, and I actually covered this briefly in my last video, but I think it's unique enough to actually feature here. We would like to see more classes when prestiging. Now, you could say that you want the game to be as true to the original as possible, but COD 4 had 5 total custom classes. If you were non-prestige or if you were 10th prestige, it didn't matter. You had 5 total custom classes. Ever since World at War, by prestiging, you could unlock more of these custom classes. I think it'd be nice if we could have more than 5 in Modern Warfare Remastered. Suggestion number 6, combat training with bots in private matches. Now, this is something that I didn't think of personally, but as soon as I saw it in the comments of my last video, I was like, that's a really good idea. Why not have that? Like, it seems like it'd be so easy for them just to add a couple of bots to the game, and it would be a very nice quality of life improvement for people that are trying out out Modern Warfare Remastered that never played COD 4, that want to practice different weapons or practice different game modes or attachments or what have you, I think it would be nice. Why not add that in there? Suggestion number 7, split screen. Now, this is something that I don't think I've ever actually played Call of Duty split screen. Maybe I have, like, against, like, a 1v1 against my brother or something like that, but for the most part, split screen and playing with people, like, locally has never been a thing for me, but I know a lot of other people like that, so why not have split screeners? Now, I know some people will say, well, I hate having split screeners on my team, but you know what? You love having them on the other team, so why not have them in the game? I think that's a very nice suggestion overall. Suggestion number 8, forced game chat for search and destroy. Now, this one is definitely up for debate. You see, Call of Duty 4 was made before party chat, right? That's how old this game actually is. Back in the day, we all actually had to talk in the game. It was insane, right? Unless you were to do a private chat on Xbox Live, which still works to this day, I think, on the Xbox 360. But still, people are saying that you should actually be able to have forced game chat for search and destroy. I could go either way. I'd be okay if it was forced. I'd be okay if it wasn't forced. Doesn't matter to me. But here's the thing. Modern Warfare Remastered is going to have all the perks from Call of Duty 4. Eavesdrop is one of those perks. Now, what Eavesdrop actually did, and this thing is so worthless, but it was a perk 3, right? So it was right down there with Dead Silence, Steady Aim, Extreme Conditioning, all these really good perks, right? It allowed you to hear the game chat of the other team, assuming you were close enough to them. The idea was it's going to be a super tactical perk. You're going to hear what the other team is saying. You're going to hear them say, hey, let's go take B really quick. And then you can call it to your teammates, hey, they're going to B. But it was a useless perk. It became even more useless after party chat was implemented. So I have to wonder how it's actually going to work. But forced game chat for search and destroy, definitely an interesting idea. Suggestion number 9, black scopes for sniper rifles. A lot of people are talking about this. So just to give you guys an idea, this is what snipers looked like in Call of Duty 4. This is the Barrett 50 cal scope, but all the scopes are actually the same. And this is what it's going to look like in Modern Warfare Remastered. Obviously, a little bit different. People want the scope to be entirely black like it was back in Call of Duty 4 again. I'm all for that. If they want to have that, that's fine. I think the scopes are really weird, like the fact that the kill feed is actually like blocked off by the scope now, and the medals are kind of, but they're kind of not at the same time. It's really odd if you ask me. So going back to the original scopes, I think that'd be good for everybody involved. And of course, one of the biggest suggestions I've actually seen, and suggestion number 10 for this video, the original announcers once again. Now, they did say that they are working with the capture sounds in Modern Warfare Remastered, and I'm not entirely sure what they meant by that, so I assume a capture sound is when the announcer says, we're losing Bravo, or we're taking Alpha, or something like that, right? That's what makes sense in my head, but I'm not exactly sure what they mean by a capture sound. But overall, people want the original announcers to come back. They were definitely much different in Modern Warfare Remastered, and just look up some Modern Warfare Remastered gameplay without commentary if you guys want to hear it for yourselves. I'm all for it. Honestly, I like the original announcers, although I wonder if it's going to sound out of place if the original announcers just come in, you know, they cut it whole cloth right into the game. Like, will they have to actually change it somehow, like add more, I don't know, bass to their voice or something like that to make it so it sounds more like it belongs? We'll have to see, but those are 10 suggestions that I and you have for Modern Warfare Remastered. Some of these were my own ideas, some of these were ideas from you guys in the comments, and overall, I think these are all great suggestions. Now, of course, we want Modern Warfare Remastered to be a lot like Call of Duty 4. We want the same down-to-earth Call of Duty 4 experience that we had, but at the same time, a lot of these are just really nice quality of life improvements. Like, we're not trying to change the gameplay. We're not saying that the movement speed needs to be faster, or grenades need to be less strong, or weapons need to be buffed, or more kill streaks need to be added. We're just asking for simple quality of life improvements that will make Modern Warfare Remastered take the COD 4 formula and give it a modern twist and actually make it feel like a current day Call of Duty game, like having lobby leaderboards, having a combat record, the ability to play split screen, having black scopes once again, or more classes when you prestige, like little tiny quality of life improvements that will really make this game the game that we all hope that it can be. And with how excited people are for Modern Warfare Remastered, I'm glad to see that Raven Software is taking the time to listen to the community, take our feedback, big and small, and consider implementing changes to Modern Warfare Remastered. I'm very excited for this game. I was so worried like several months ago before we really knew anything about the game that they were really going to half-ass this thing, that it was going to be a terrible game, but it looks so good. Like, all the things they're actually implementing to the game, it all sounds fantastic, and these are some suggestions that I have and you guys have to make the game even better, to make it just the perfect Call of Duty game. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Let me know down there in the comment section below, are there any other suggestions that you have for Modern Warfare Remastered, things you guys would change that wasn't featured in this video? Let us know about that. Drop me a rating, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.